I, Johnathan Edwards, give my consent for the use of this audio, video, and whole production. Hello, I'm Johnathan Edwards. I am a journalism major here at Marshall University, and today I will be talking about Steve Cotton. He is a big part of the community, and I thought it would be appropriate to talk about him. So he is the color commentator for IMG for Marshall University for the past 26 years, and he is a native of Kalkaska, Michigan, and went to the University of Florida in 1987. He eventually finished with a degree in journalism from Marshall in 1995. And he has multiple accolades and is a big part of the community. Everyone loves him, and he's a voice that everyone knows if you've been around here long enough. So I will now transition to the interview portion of the documentary. So what's kept you in the community so long other than the sports?
Well, I'd say number one, it's a great job. And I just over the years came to really appreciate it. The longer you're here, the more friends you have, the more you're ingrained into the community. So I've always enjoyed living in this area, and Marshall Athletics has been a blast. It's fun. It's a privilege to be able to do the broadcasts and be involved with the teams, the student athletes, the coaches. So I've had a blast. I've settled in, and so far they've allowed me to keep coming back from year to year. So I'm happy about that.
So what draws you to Marshall other than leaving for like a bigger program?
Just to have become ingrained in the community, I think, as much as anything. And also, it's a great spot. I've had a bunch of great coaches who've assembled teams that have been fun. I've had the privilege to be involved with bowl teams and an NCAA basketball tournament appearance a couple of years ago and a first round win in the tournament. So I've had fun with it. I've not lost the spark and the enthusiasm to go to work every day. I'm still challenged by trying to create a pretty good broadcast. So I've really had no reason to leave, and it's been a long time. I would have to think about it, many years since I've even considered applying for a different job.
Have any other colleges offered you a spot doing football commentating?
I wouldn't. It would be inaccurate to say we ever got to the point of a job offer. There have been a couple of times where early on in my time at Marshall, before I was so ingrained, that I sent some materials in, a job application, whatever, for a couple of positions. I've had over the years a couple of schools get in contact with me to judge my interest, but we've never made it to the point of I've never gone and interviewed with somebody. We had a couple phone conversations. That was it. I've never gone so far as to travel somewhere and do the official job interview.
Well, I'm sure the community's glad you stayed. So, over your career, what do you have, like a favorite call in the booth? Do you have like a favorite play or something?
Well, you can break it down to the different sports. Of course, with basketball, the NCAA tournament win over Wichita State a couple of years ago. And before that, the Conference USA Championship win was just as much fun. That was my first conference basketball championship in all these years at Marshall. It had been a long time. And so that was a blast, and the team was so exciting. So that's certainly among the highlights. You flip it over to football. There have been so many great games, great finishes. A couple that really, I think, jump out to most fans right off the bat will be the 1999 Mid-American Conference Championship game. There was so much on the line. Marshall was undefeated, had a chance to end up in the top 10 in the country. But people today might not realize that in 1999, the Mid-American Conference had one bowl tie-in. So if Marshall had lost that game, you go from being ranked in the top 15 in the country to not even getting to go to a bowl game. And Western Michigan had the big lead, 23-0 in the middle of the third quarter before Marshall started to come back. Just a couple seconds left in the game. Marshall throws the game-winning touchdown pass, Chad Pennington to Eric Pinkerton. Hurd goes on to whip Brigham Young in the Motor City Bowl and ends up undefeated and in the top 10 in the country. So that moment was huge for the program. Another incredible game was the 2000 the one GMAC bowl matchup with East Carolina in
Mm-hmm.
Mobile, Alabama, down 38-8 at halftime, and Byron Leftwich and company forged a huge comeback and a double overtime victory, 64-61. So that's another one. Those are just a couple of examples, though, of so many amazing, memorable games I've been privileged to watch and play my little part in them.
Steve Cotton continues to call Marshall games to this day, and the voice is still just as recognizable as it was when he started.
The snap, a handoff to McDaniel straight ahead. He's fighting and spinning, and it takes about 5 Minutemen to get Knowledge McDaniel down after a 2-yard gain to the 35. Under 4 minutes to play.
Steve Cotton is no stranger to accolades. He is a 14-time West Virginia Sportscaster of the Year, according to National Sports Media Association, who gives it out every year. And as of 2020, he has won it 14 times and has called countless basketball and football games for the university. Thank you for watching this documentary. It was a blast making it, and a few people I'd like to thank Steve Cotton for his time and kindness when I interviewed him. We need to remember that he is a big part of our community and is very beloved, and we can't thank him enough for all the work he does. And I'd like to thank Professor Sias for the class. Thank you.